How do you connect? So you got the Atman, which is spirit, and what about the soul? What is soul?
So soul is an admixture of the emotions and the mental body. So if we think about a human being as having a number of bodies around him, we have the physical sheath, we have the emotional sheath, we have the mental sheath, we have the spiritual sheath. And
Right,
so when we die, the physical elements go back into nature,
right,
but the emotional and the mental state travel with the Atman. And
right.
until that spiritual state is reached where the Atman has let go of the modifications of emotions and mental images,
Right.
then we can arrive at the experience of, well, I am Atman. Prior to that, we will have any number of distortions going on. And so when we die, we have the concept of reincarnation. We take on another body. And we're taking on that body, another body, mainly because we have impulses that are still relevant, still prevalent in our emotional body and in our mental body. And they're playing
Right.
God. So that emotional mental state has to be depleted for us to
Yeah.
arrive at the Atmic state.
Yeah. Okay. Now, people have asked me questions knowing that you're going to be coming on today, giving us amazing information about life and spiritual science, intelligence. But they were asking me this question that plays on a lot of people's mind. How many times do the soul have to be reincarnated? If we talk about reincarnation, coming back, how many times do we have to come back? Or does it continue?
Well, it'll take as long as it takes because until you awaken to the fact that, wait a minute, this is a duality, this is a feeling that I am having, this is a thought that I am having. Until you get to
Right.
that level of introspection, the level of understanding that something else is going on, then
Hmm.
only do you make progress in your spiritual journey. Otherwise, it's a life of birth and death and birth and death and birth and death, and on it goes until you awaken.
Right.
So,
Uh,
awakening, now we're at a time on the planet where awakening to our conscious state, consciously awakening, is what we're experiencing now. In fact, this was predicted many thousands of years ago that we will come to a time when we will all awaken to this reality that we are, in fact, spirit beings. If you
right.
read many other encounters with other beings, you'll see that yes, they're all describing this Atmic state. We're calling it Atmic because it's a term that we can use, but
Right.
it's realizing that I am not the body, I'm not the emotions, I'm not the mental state. So if you are not all of that, then what are you? Now, that's a very
Yeah.
profound question to be asking. What and who am I? So when we ask, who am I, we're using the
Right.
word I with the capital self, capital S. And
Right.
being a spiritual being means that you're aware that you are a spirit being, but you're also aware that you are a mental and emotional being. So you're living in two worlds at the same time until you undo the modifications of the mind. The emotional impulses burn out, the mental impulses burn out. And when you reach that state, then you could safely say that you are immersed in the Atma. It's a state called constant integrated awareness. You are completely aware that you are Atma. Now, if you're alive in a
Right.
body, that is called Jivatma. But if you're not in a
Right.
body, it is another term that is used for that. But either way, we are coming to a state where all beings are going to become aware that they are Atma. And there is only one Atma, by the way. What we see,
Right.
the
So,
disparity in the
so
world is people's emotions and mental state that give them their personality, etc. That's all different. But
Yeah.
to be, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So you're saying that the Atma is multifaceted. It has many parts of it, is it? Is that what you're saying?
Atma has many manifestations, yes. It can be truth, it can be goodness, it can be beauty, it can be joy, it can be love, it can be
Right.
all those qualities make up what it means to be in an Atmic state. But they're not
Right. Right.
things that we use in everyday life. What we see
Mm-hmm.
in the world today is that we have emotions, and these emotions can be very distorting. They take us away from what we really are, and we have mental processes, a lot of agitation, a lot of anger, a lot of greed, and all the qualities of the ego.